I might ruffle some feathers with this, but I don't really care. Number one, the reason you don't like Anaya is because you have the same wound of lack of resources like Casey does, in my opinion. Is Anaya not the goal? Is she not the goal for everybody and their kids? Is Anaya not what you want your child to end up having? A nice house, a car, never having to ask for shit, never having to struggle, and having a good example of a partnership? Like, I'm confused. Why is it when we finally get someone that's produced from the black nuclear family and lived in the black middle class or the wealthy upper class, you guys hate them? Hate them. And I grew up dirt poor. Like, I grew up on a fixed income with my grandpa. Like, I don't get y'all. Like, in my opinion, is that because when a black woman is either self-sufficient, accepting breadcrumbs, or she's angry and she's upset, those are the only three things you guys accept. But when she expects more from somebody, y'all hate that. Y'all hate when black women ask for anything. Now she's spoiled. Now she's out of touch. Now she's sheltered. Was that not the goal? Was that not the goal? Because to me, like, I feel like she reminds me, like, Kaylor. Like, Kaylor, no one was saying Kaylor needed to leave. Everybody just said Kaylor needed to stop crying. Like, do you get the issue? Like, the social dynamic? And we have to look at Anaya from the perceived lens that black women are adultified, just like Trinity is. She is not allowed to cry. She's less deserving. She's less innocent. She knows what she's doing. She doesn't like him. She's also being emotionally manipulative for crying one to two times, one to three times. Mind you, their relationship was good up until Soul came. And again, Love Island built them up to break them down. Like, I feel like that was very obvious. This is the point. Impoverished black women are usually treated as evidence that there is social failure, that there is a racism issue, that there's all these isms going on. While black women who get to wealthier status, they're seen as personal excess. And what happens is that these two things are used against black women, and black women are blamed for both. Because if you chose Dede, that was on you. And if you stayed in the projects, that was on you. And if you had 6 babies, that was on you. And if you're expecting too much, that is on you. Who's gonna buy you a Range Rover? Who finna lay out the jacket when there's a puddle? I don't do that shit no more. And what people aren't realizing is that they're watching a black woman who didn't have to be an adult. Y'all loved Elandria. Elandria had to be the oldest sister the whole entire time. She took care of everybody. Anaya is doing almost a similar thing, but she's still a daughter. Like, she's showing that she is not fluent in deprivation. She's not fluent in struggle. And it's bothering some of you. I don't know. As someone that grew up struggling, like, I feel like it's bothering some of y'all. I don't know. And I feel like it worried Casey that, like, this might not be somebody that he can provide for in a traditional sense. But providing, okay, because we're black, doesn't always have to be financial. And black women know that. And my biggest critique of Casey is that, and a lot of you guys, is that what you're hearing from Casey doesn't get spoken to Anaya. He just sits there and says, yeah, because he was playing a role. He was not being himself. He got in that confessionals and he was speaking to us. He never spoke to her.
Juneteenth 2026. Shout out to all my fellow black Americans. Another year in the books, man. All right. We not done. We're going to have to overcome some more shit, right? We're going to have to defend each other some more because them folks is still on the attack and they not going to stop, right? The POCs, it's everybody versus us this year, all right? But we don't care because we are built for this shit. Black Americans, we did it again. I want everybody to go out and do something real black today, all right? Do something real black today, minus the violence, all right? Let's go outside and have fun, get around our fellow blacks. You get what I'm saying? And just vibe out, support a black business, do something. Do something. I'm about to hit the streets. I'm gonna be somewhere in LA, somewhere. Somebody's gonna see me somewhere. You get what I'm saying? But I just wanted to hop on here and say shout out to the black Americans, dude. 2026 has been crazy, all right? It's been a roller coaster, ups and downs, right? We still enemy number one in the streets and on the internet. So, yeah, man, when you see another black person today, give them a good, firm handshake, and you know what I mean? Let's celebrate Juneteenth, man. We did this shit. Black Americans.
Where is Black Lives Matter when black people kill each other? Where is Benjamin Crump or the NAACP when black people take the lives of other black people? A 51-year-old man allegedly beat a 15-year-old boy to death over a dispute. Police say the teen had gone to visit a 16-year-old girl. Investigators reportedly found inappropriate messages between her and the 51-year-old man. Why isn't this making national headlines? Black Lives Matter becomes highly visible when a black person is killed by police, a white person, or someone of another race. But when it's black on black violence, silence. A child is dead. His life was taken by someone from his own community, and the response is quiet. If black lives truly matter, shouldn't every lost black life receive the same outrage regardless of who is responsible? Not all white Americans descend from families that lived in the United States during the era of slavery. And not all white Americans today can be held personally responsible for it. No one should be expected to carry guilt for a past they had no part in creating. Millions of white Americans today are descended from immigrants who arrived long after slavery ended in 1865. Many of their ancestors came through Ellis Island in the late 1800s and early 1900s from places like Ireland, Italy, Poland, Greece, and Eastern Europe. When those families arrived, they weren't plantation owners. They were often poor immigrants looking for work, living in crowded rooms and working dangerous jobs in factories, mines, mills, and railroads. Their story is part of American history too. Learn history instead of learning racism.
We were called the N-word again. On June 25th at 7:30, me and my sister were on a walk in our predominantly white neighborhood in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. At 7:30, we were called the N-word we were yelled from a car that was driving inside of our neighborhood, driving a Bronco. I'll place the image inside here. And they also spat at us, and there were 3 white male individuals driving this that were riding in this car. And they drove inside of our neighborhood. And then today, on June 28th, at around, you can continue.
Yeah, at around 6:46 p.m., we were walking, and a white Tesla with a Connecticut license plate passed by us. Then it took a right onto the intersection between Bilton Road and Howe Hill Road, which is like near the border of Connecticut and East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. And they slowed down their car, and they yelled the N-word, and they sped off in that direction. And in that car, there were 3 white male individuals. Some of them were wearing hats, and there was one in the back seat, one driving, and obviously one in shotgun. And this video is mainly about trying to gather information. We're just trying to figure out who the people are, because we shouldn't have to live in a situation where we're constantly being harassed by individuals and being called slurs. And we're just trying to live our lives.
And we would like for these people to come to the front and take accountability. Mm-hmm. And also, if any of you that are asking what would you like us to do, I would like, if you are from this area or from this town and you know anybody that drives these cars or is more likely to do something like this, I would love for you to reach out to me or him if you know. I'll put their socials, or also my sister. She did make a video during when the first incident happened. And yeah, we would just like for this to stop.
Call me the N-word. But many of the same people saying that continue to use the N-word themselves every day. If it's such a hateful, offensive word, then why keep giving it life by using it? Why keep normalizing it in music, conversations, social media, and everyday speech? Personally, I don't use that word toward anyone. Not seriously, not jokingly, not at all. If a word is wrong, then it's wrong regardless of who says it. The issue I have is the double standard. The people who use the N-word the most are often the first to become outraged when someone outside their group uses it. You can't spend years insisting a word is unacceptable while simultaneously keeping it in regular circulation. Either it's a word that should be left in the past, or it's a word that is acceptable to use. Expecting one set of rules for some people and another set of rules for everyone else is a double standard.
Fellow black people, my fellow blacks, we need to talk. No smoke, but I've come here today to ask you for footages and documentation. From as long as I can remember, somebody has always told me that I'm not going to be able to change the material condition of my life because I'm black and because I'm a woman. I've gotten to 35 years old and I'm starting to, it feels like a lie. I'm starting to think somebody's lying. And I don't want to jump the gun or jump out the window with it because I was raised in New York City. So it's a very, very diverse space. I don't want to speak for 350 million people. I don't want to speak for all of America. But today, I want to speak for me because through this election, I'm getting challenged in ways that don't make sense. So let's run the scenario. When I was 17 years old in high school, that's my junior year, I ran the numbers and I realized that I wasn't going to have enough money to participate in my senior year of high school. What does participating mean? I was a cheerleader, so I didn't have money for cheerleading camp for the summer. I didn't have money for the competition season. I didn't have money for my uniform for the next year. I wasn't able to pick, I didn't have money for the senior trip. I didn't have money for the senior week, like celebrity day, pajama day, all that shit. I didn't have money for it, and I didn't have any money for prom. But I was an excellent participant in my school. Anybody who knew me knew I did dance. I sang on the school chorus. I was a cheerleader. I worked for the teachers and I hosted school shows. So to me, I was an active participant in the community. So when I was 17 and I realized that I didn't have enough money for my senior year, I went to my school principal, Mr. Leader, God bless his soul. I went to Mr. Leader and I told him my situation. And he said, well, you want to sell something? If you want, you could figure out something to sell and you can sell it around the school and I'll let you sell it so you can make the money for your senior year. Remember, he didn't hand me any money. Didn't make me fill out any applications. He just said, if you want to sell something, you can sell something. Fine. I started selling cupcakes and I went pedal to the metal. I sold 100 cupcakes a day from like somewhere between 6 to 9 months until I got stopped. So anybody who's running the numbers, it was a lot of money. I made a lot of money. It was even better because like people knew why I was selling cupcakes. So the teachers would literally come downstairs and like give me $20 and be like, the next 20 cupcakes are free. So it wasn't even hard to make money. I had a huge population of people. I had good cupcakes. We did it. Fine. The reason I ended up not selling cupcakes anymore is because a group of students, I think it was like the yearbook group, they realized that I was making like all this money inconsistently and they complained. They said, that's not fair. An individual student selling cupcakes around the school isn't fair. She's making so much money. So my fellow students were the ones who stopped me from selling. Mr. Leader never stopped. That man would have let me come back after I graduated and keep selling cupcakes because number one, I earned his respect. And number two, I was a useful member of the community. Fine. So to me, if racism was supposed to limit me in that moment, I should have been stopped. I should have been stopped for so many other reasons. But primarily, if I let y'all tell it, he was supposed to stop me because I was a little black girl. But he didn't. So that's the first scenario when I was 17 that had me like, maybe I'm just lucky. Okay. Then when I was 20, 21, something around there, I had an associate's degree in business, like a regular bullshit community college degree. And I saw that a really high-end luxury store was interviewing for a store manager in like this really fancy mall. And, I had a little bit of guts about me. I said I could talk about it. So I applied to the job. I ended up getting interviewed by a woman named Phyllis, an older Italian woman. So this is another white person. And she interviewed me for maybe an hour. I think we did like a second interview with 2 other white women. I had to like drive out to Long Island to do it. But after me, 20 years old with an associate's degree in business, after sitting down and just having conversations with these various white people, they gave me the job. They gave it to me. So I think I was supposed to be stopped then too for being black, but they didn't stop me. So 17 wasn't stopped. If anything, I was given opportunity. 20 wasn't stopped. If anything, I was, they gave me more than I deserved because I didn't deserve to be a store manager. I'm a very good talker. So fine. Last scenario, I have a very racially ambiguous name. If you see my name, you couldn't even imagine what race I am. You can't. Anyone who knows me knows that. So I used to, I'd apply for jobs. And when you apply for jobs, the only thing they see is your resume. And pro tip, if you apply for a job and they call you for the interview, you already have the job. They're just calling you, they want to bring you in to make sure you're not like a complete whack, and they want to make sure that you are who you say you are. If you send out your resume and you get called for an interview, technically you have the job. It's just your job. It's your turn to seal the deal, whatever. So for all the jobs I've ever had in my life, for any resume I've ever sent out, no one knows who's coming when I show up. No one knows who's coming. I could be white, I could be Italian, I could be Spanish, I don't know. Some people say my last name sounds Polish. Some people have said my last name could be Uzbek. Like, my last name is very ambiguous and it doesn't give Nigerian kid. So anytime I show up for the interview, people would be surprised to see me. They'd be like, oh, okay, you're a black girl. And I'd be like, hi, I'm a black girl. And then we do our interview. We'd have our conversations. They'd ask me my scenarios. I'd go through my scenarios and I'd get the job. There's not a lot of people that can say that, but I can say with confidence I've never interviewed for a job I didn't get. I can talk. So fine. So that's 3 separate scenarios in my life. I'm 35 now. From a kid, y'all been telling me that every time I try in this life, something is going to stop me because I'm black or because I'm a woman. No one has ever stopped me. I have formulated 5 companies. 4 of them are dead and gone. I'm on my 5th one right now. When I went to get the permit for my machine, they didn't ask me if I was black. When I went to purchase the machine, they didn't ask me if I was black. When I took out the loan for the machine, they didn't ask me if I was black. And even now, as I'm building my company, every single place I go to, be it the Department of State, be it the county clerk's office, anywhere I go, all the documentation and paperwork is there. It's available for me to just pick up. And no one stops me because I'm black. So like I said, I was raised in New York, which is a very, very diverse place. So my opinion could be skewed. But I do believe that I could be the best useful idiot in America. Because I was born in another country. I used the visa program to come here. So I'm a first-generation immigrant. I got my citizenship when I was 10 years old. And I have been navigating through the public school system and a regular working class person since I was 14 years old. So I do believe that I'm the person that's supposed to believe in racism the most. And I don't believe in it. No one has ever stopped me from doing anything, I'm sorry, other than this ghetto ass tear in the corner of my eye. Nothing has ever stopped me from doing anything that I want to do. So, hot topic, spicy video. I know y'all coming. I'm right here. But yes, I want the documentation and I want the footages. I want you to prove systemic racism to me because no one has stopped me yet. Let's go.
This is now the 2nd video I'm making about talking about important topics. This one is about racism. Racism. It doesn't just happen to coloured people, it can happen to anyone. Hispanics, Asians, Russians, Indians, white people, black people, mixed people. Everyone can have comments made. Around 50 to 75% of minorities have experienced racism in their lifetime, especially in the UK and USA. Even I've had comments made about my tan skin and my dark hair. I wanted to give Rihanna a chance to share her experience with racism. This is her story. Racism is a big thing to talk about and happens often, whether it's being called slurs or a joke about your race. As a mixed girl, I've never liked my race, and it started with self-racism. I used to pull out my hair in primary because it wasn't straight like the average girl. And as a kid, I should have been taught to embrace my natural hair. But after a few years, I stopped. I went to secondary school. On TikTok, I was seeing mixed girls with curly hair, and I wondered why my hair didn't look like that. Being black doesn't mean we should all have the same hair. Any hair is beautiful. Straight, curly, afro wavy, anything. In year 7, I was getting called names, or slurs. I never knew what it meant until I searched it up. I told my mum and it was reported. People apologised, so I forgave them. But it still affected me greatly, especially the comments on my hair. I would always slick it back and never embrace it as big hair. Due to me seeing mixed girls all over TikTok with curly hair, I cut the top of my hair to thin it. This greatly damaged my hair. My mum told me just because I was mixed, my hair wouldn't be that curly, and everyone is different in their own way. After the damage, it got cut really short. This upset me, so I tied it up in a headband. In year 9, I started to wear it down, but the names began. I was called Mushroom. The school didn't really help, so my hair went back up again. Now, in year 10, I still get insecure from time to time about the comments made, but I've embraced it way more. I feel more confident in wearing my natural hair. Nothing is wrong with you just because you were born with a different skin colour. And, obviously, I strongly agree with Rihanna, as whether you're Hispanic, Russian, white, mixed, black, anything, at the end of the day, we all still bleed red. And please support in any way you can, whether it's with my videos or donating to different things such as the Stephen Lawrence company and stuff like that.
In New York City the last couple of months, I've genuinely witnessed more racism than I have in most of my life. Here are the 3 types that I see the most. Number 1, the microaggressive white liberal. There genuinely was an instance where one of my friends wanted to throw a party and her roommate was like, "Are they going to steal anything, the people that you have over?" Knowing that a lot of the people that come over are black. And it's surprising that people would be this racist given that they grew up in New York City, but again, it's because they haven't actually worked on their internalized biases. Number 2, the drive-by sort of shouting at each other. Whenever arguments happen in New York, a lot of the times it turns racial. At least for white people. Like, I don't know about people of color, but for white people, I've seen slurs hurled. I've seen a lot of things come up. And especially, I feel like this is the most common among older generations because they don't even fear, even if someone records them, they don't really care about that. And number 3, the third most common is the very intrusive sort of prying liberal. White people that literally cannot mind their business. If there's a black person on the block, they have to go say something and interrogate them, ask them who they are, where they're from, why they have any business being on the block. And it just shows how even in a progressive city, racism is still rampant. So this is you, please work on it. It's not okay.
And a lot of you think that black people are a joke as a whole. Like, they find our existence, like, ironic. Like, it's, like, funny. That's why I know so many people who use dark skin emojis. And they're talking about, like, it's not deep, but, like, what's so funny? It's just black. They think our existence is a joke. But I think doing anything that applies to us is like it's like ironic and kind of satire. Like, what is so funny about being black? Like, it stuns me. Like, it's like, y'all really think we a joke? Like, they don't see us as like real people. They think our existence is ironic. Like, when people use black reaction stickers all the time, the way they made a joke out of the name Tyrone, like, it's just a common black name. Like, what is funny about the name Tyrone? Like, what's funny about black names? Like, it doesn't make sense. They're just black. No one makes fun of other names like that. It's crazy, bro. Who make fun of rap? Like, okay, yeah, maybe it sounds bad, but this is actual poetry. Like, people are writing about their life stories, and they find it funny. Nah, I don't even care. I don't even care. Rod Wave, I mean, he's horrible. But I will say, a lot of this hate is coming from, this guy is actually talking about real stuff he's been through in his life. Like, so I don't understand, like, yeah, it sounds horrible, but, like, also know, like, this is probably someone's life story. I don't know why they think everything is a joke. I hate people. I do not like people who think being black is funny. And it's like, I can't really escape it because, like, a lot of people around me are low-key racist. But it's like, I peep it all the time. I know so many girls who use dark skin emojis. I know people who have, like, on Roblox, like, they have, like, really black avatars. Or they think the name Tyrone is funny. Or, like, it's like, I hate you guys. I hate everybody. I'm not gonna lie. I do not like you guys. But like, I have to coexist somehow. But like, yeah, it's like kind of crazy.
Holy Spirit, Black community, look, we cannot keep suffering in silence and not saying a word. We can't. Community, you know, there's a lot of pain and a lot of trauma and a lot of injustice going on. But I have to call out to Uno this morning because my heart is heavy and I'm grieved. And before I start, I just want to say thank you to the white brothers and sisters that are standing with us, fighting for justice with us, and supporting us. Because it's happening. We know that families are interracial now. Yeah? My family being one of them. But I have to call out against the racism, evil and lies that has been inflicted upon us. My big sister, yeah, my best friend, not biological sister, but you know how we are in our culture, yeah. Some of the ones that are not biological are closer to us than our biological. My elder, strong black woman from Jamaica diaspora coming to the UK, yeah, since she was a child. And she have gone through the system till she have become a tower of strength to many. Even attended police meetings and supporting, advocating, yeah, for there to be a positive change. And I see my phone, 5 missed calls because I've been so busy. And when I managed to communicate with her, her son, her firstborn son, big man, was hit over off of his scooter by the police and broke his leg. They broke his leg. He had to have surgery twice and he's got 2 metal plates in his leg. What kind of stop and search is that? Now it seems, and if it's happening to you, reach out to me or call out. We have to voice out what is going on because it can't go on. He was riding his... Let me just get this straight. He ain't got a criminal record. He ain't in a no criminality, no nothing. He's a decent father. His eldest is a university graduate and he's got 2 more in the university. Now listen to this. He's riding his scooter and one white man in the car nearly run him over. So they're having a confrontation. Verbal, not violent. He's telling the man what happened to him. Can't he see him? Can't he drive? And even when the man is driving off, instead of him driving forward, he's reversing. Till he laughed after him and said, look, you can't even drive. Hey! What do you think happened next? He just popped out to the shop. He's on his way home. You see police, car and van driving up and down. He's on his way home, driving up and down. And he's like, what's going on there? You know what? Let me go into my yard because I don't know what's happening out there. Lo and behold, before he knew it, he was hit off of his scooter. Yeah? Violently. He said he saw his life before him before he was going to die. Gun police surrounding him, shouting at him. His foot broke, you know. And he's got his hands in the air saying, I ain't got no gun, I ain't got no gun, I ain't got no gun. His foot is broken, not sprained, broken in 2 places. So they've taken him to the hospital now. and he's professing his innocence. Yeah, took away his phone. Yeah. Him and his missus have broken up for years, so he's living somewhere else. You know what they did? Went to his missus' yard, the gun police, kicked down door, raid the place. Remember, his eldest is a graduate, you know, he's got 2 that are in university. The trauma they have to now deal with in the midst of their studies. They never find no gun. He don't even live at his missus. The trauma. They went to his yard, raid the place. The trauma. He's innocent. He's not involved in no criminality. He never had no gun. All because the white man was vexed with the argument and lied to the police that the black guy pulled out a gun and look at what has happened. So we're at risk now. Couldn't they just stop him in a different way and tell him to raise his hands? What kind of a lick-off scooter is that where you're breaking his leg in 2 places? What is that? What is going to happen to the white man? He needs to be taken off the road straight away because he could do it again. And he needs to go to jail. You can't lie on innocent people and make all of that happen. And this is what I'm saying. All of this trauma, pain, injustice, racist acts is happening. And what is the repercussion? Where's the justice? What's going to happen now? How many more times has this happened? You know what my sister said? That there's no change with the police. They're racist and there's no change. She experienced police brutality where they beat her up as a child. As a child in the van. And now her firstborn. They broke his leg. 2 places. Mash up the house. And his miss is where his children live. This has to stop. This has to stop. If it's happening to you, please reach out to me. Look, I know that a lot of you ain't filling out no surveys, yeah, about how the police is performing. But it seems like we've got a notorious bunch out there that needs to be eradicated out of the police. That's just going around doing treacherous acts. And what's happened to these police? This has to stop.